He's the Packers linebacker, one of our favorites. He's Clay Matthews, making the rounds this morning for Campbell Soup. He joins us now. How are you, Clay?
I'm doing well. What's yourself, Dan?
I'm doing okay. How's the hair?
Hair's good. It's always good. You know that.
All right. Well, thanks for coming on, and good luck this season.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Help me understand this. Did you really not know Colin Kaepernick, RG3's name? Like you said, whatchamacallit? Is that true?
No.
That's not true.
That's just the media trying to make something up. I was just, there's so many quarterbacks who like to run around now that, they slip my name between. We were playing Russell Wilson and RG3 and Kaepernick. I mean, they're just good quarterbacks who can run around with their legs. So I'm sorry if I lost track of a game that was 3 or 4 weeks ahead.
Well, it says we start
out.
out.
What does it say on that blog? What does it say on the blog, Dan? Tell me.
Okay, it says we start out the season with the 49ers. I mean, we got, what's his name? And then Tracy Wolfson said Colin Kaepernick. No, the Redskins coming here in week 2. So it's great preparation. Yeah. And then what's his name? So you weren't sure of RG3 or Colin Kaepernick.
I think I was referring more so to what's his name to the team we were playing. It's just that what's his name, his represented the organization because they are the Redskins. So at one point it probably was a his, because of the Native Americans. So in a way, I think I might be politically correct here.
But you do know who these guys are, and you'll get to see a lot of them. But if you were going to pick a pocket guy or somebody who is a runner or runner/passer, who would you rather face with your position?
Oh, would I rather face personally? I'd love to, get after these pocket style quarterbacks. They're not nearly as mobile as Kaepernick and what's his name, RG3 and Russell Wilson. Those guys, because obviously you can just tee off as a pass rusher. You focus on beating your tackle, double team, whatever it may be, and sacking them. But, with these mobile read option style quarterbacks, when the play breaks down, they can create plays with their feet. And that's what makes them so dangerous and versatile. And it requires us as defenders not only to defend them in the passing game, but also with their legs as well.
I thought we saw something in the Super Bowl with the Ravens where Terrell Suggs, no matter what Kaepernick did, was going to put a helmet on him. And I don't know if that's going to be the future of how to defend these guys, or at least making them aware of the defense. But did you notice that at all? Did you even watch the Super Bowl with how they tried to defend Kaepernick?
Yeah, we've definitely been watching the Super Bowl and how they try to defend him. And, I think it started with facing the Redskins for them. I think they caught on earlier in the season, and obviously more so than us, who, we got our first glimpse in the playoffs. But, I mean, that seems to be a theme is taking the quarterback out of the game. And that's one thing I like about the game plan for this season in general, facing these type of quarterbacks, is putting hits on the quarterback and being the aggressor as opposed to sitting back and letting them dictate where the ball goes. So, yeah, we saw that with, Suggs. So it may not be the best statistical game for, guys like myself or Terrell or anyone for that matter. But if you can force teams out of this read-style option, offense, pistol, whatever you want to call it nowadays, force them into a traditional offense and force him to beat you with his arm, then it requires us to go back to, us, your coaches, defensive coordinators playing, our best plays against theirs. And that's also what we want to get it back to.
What's cut down day like for a guy like you who knows that's not happening anytime soon?
Well, I'll tell you what, I think that, initially early in my career, I know I'm only going into year 5, but, I figured, well, I'm going to be here for the long haul. But, I think this was the first year where I was actually, thankful that, I got another year under my belt. So I don't know if that's just becoming old, mature at the ripe age of 27, but, I don't take it for granted as much as I used to anymore because, I know, like I said, I'm only going into year 5 and hopefully I got several more years ahead of me. But, you begin to appreciate what you have and what they lay out for you. But my day consisted of just getting a good workout in, a little ice bath, treatment, kind of hanging around. And I mean, it's unfortunate seeing the guys come and go, especially the guys who you forge relationships with. But unfortunately, it's part of the business. It is a business.
Have you been next to somebody when all of a sudden, somebody says, hey, such and such, come on in, and you know what's going to happen?
I've seen, those guys come down. I've seen the head guy come and talk to people, and I've seen guys come down immediately afterwards in which they say their goodbyes. So, And sometimes you feel as if guys are wrong as far as they should, they still should have a spot on the team. But ultimately, that's not your decision, and you buy into the organization and what we do here. So it's unfortunate. And I saw a few teammates go that I felt they still had a chance to play on this team, if not on our team, somewhere else, and you lose a friend more than anything.
Can you lobby for somebody? Can you go to coach and say this guy should make it?
You know what? I think I'm sure I could lobby for someone. I think it obviously depends on your role on the team, but for the most part, I mean, there's a reason why you have a GM or an owner of the team and the decisions they make. So I think that only gets you so far. But it seems to be working here. We're winning a bunch of ball games. Obviously, we got a Super Bowl under our belt, and hopefully get back there again. But for the most part, kind of what they say goes.
He's Clay Matthews, Packers linebacker, joining us, Dan Patrick Show. Greg Jennings' comments in the offseason about Aaron Rodgers. How did that strike you?
I really didn't have a reaction to it. I don't know if that's because it didn't involve me or just because it just didn't register with me. I mean, like I said, and like Aaron said, I mean, the only opinions that matter are the ones within the locker room, the ones that are going to help us win ball games and dictate where we go this season. So it's not relevant. Yet at the same time, I guess you kind of see that more often than not is when teams and players aren't able to end on agreeable terms that maybe there's shots taken here or there. So I don't know, but like I said, I know what Aaron brings to the table as far as not only on the field but off the field and being a veteran leader of this team. So we're real fortunate to have, and we know he's a top quarterback and going to take us where we need to go.
Last time you talked to Mark Sanchez?
Probably in the off season. Yeah, we're part of the same agency, so I think maybe a little charity deal we did.
Yeah, I think he's on the outside looking in, and once they draft a quarterback, I don't know, feels like the handwriting's on the wall there for Sanchez with the Jets.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Obviously, we're good friends. I'm pulling for him. I know he more than has the capability of being a starting NFL quarterback, but I mean that's what you said. I mean, no different than what we had just talked about as far as guys moving and coming and moving around. So, but all for me, well, I hope it all works out. I'm not really focused on the Jets right now, but Sanchez, good friend. Hopefully, it all works out.
The new hitting rules in college football. What if we did that in the NFL? They're talking about instant ejections here for hits using the crown of the helmet.
I think it's a horrible rule. I mean, because I saw 2 clips where one was egregious. I think maybe on a punt return where it was a fair catch and went straight for the head, but another one was just a hit on a receiver. I think it's these are rules made by guys who have never played the game and don't understand some of the hits that are taken out there. So I mean, there are egregious ones that you see that. I mean, in the NCAA, obviously you can't find kids, but I don't agree with it. I also don't agree with that rule. If you lose your helmet, you have to come out for a play. So I mean, there's a few things that I think we all don't agree with the NCAA, but I mean, that being one of them. I mean, taking it's like me if I were to get a face mask. You're not intentionally trying to do it, but it happens because it's a physical game and parts are moving fast.
And you're feisty. You're ready to go, aren't you? Ready to hit somebody.
Listen, I've been in 6 weeks of camp, 4 preseason games. I've had to listen to you all off season talk about how great, every other team is except the Packers. So yeah, I'm ready to roll, Dan.
But here's the thing. Your defense scares me, man. Not in a good way.
Well, I mean, what do you want me to say that?
Well, you can say you're wrong, and if you can say whatever you want to say. I told you what it's not personal here, Clay. I'm concerned about your wide receivers. I like you got some running backs. Franklin and Lacey are good. You got an injured offensive lineman, and that's going to, one of your best offensive linemen. Defense is a little dicey there. That's all. So I'm not looking at a Super Bowl caliber team this year.
Well, we always appreciate the motivation. I will say that we got our offense will always put up numbers. We're going to win our ball games. There's no doubt about that. And then, as I continue to say, it's just about winning them when they count. And unfortunately, we haven't done that the last 2 years. We're losing to the Giants and San Fran as well. So, I mean, our goal is always a Super Bowl, but we have to take that one step at a time. That's getting to the playoffs, and then focus on those games because it's obviously one and done. It doesn't matter if you have a 15-1 record like we had in 2011, or if we go on the road and San Francisco's coming out off a bye. So ultimately, that's all that matters. So I mean, we'll see though. You saw us in 2010 as a 6th seed win the Super Bowl. You saw it in 2011 with the Giants coming in, and obviously last year with Baltimore, I think losing 4 of their last 5 games. So anything can happen. That's what's great about
I'll
this
be
league.
on your bandwagon if you guys play well, but I'm the Kaepernick of radio hosts when it comes to you. So
Kissing your biceps. What's going on over there?
I'm what's his name? That quarterback for the Niners. That's who I am. I know you're doing something with Campbell's Soup, so I'll let you get the plug in for that. We always appreciate you coming on.
Yeah, absolutely, my pleasure. Yeah, so I teamed up with Mama's Boy this year, the Campbell's Chunky Soup's not newest campaign, but the campaign that's included the greats like McNabb, Urlacher, Reggie White, Terrell Davis. So I'm the latest Mama's Boy around here. So I'm enjoying it. I think it fits perfectly with what I represent and what Campbell's represents. So we're also doing a great thing too, as far as Campbell's is. They started the Sacks for Soup campaign, and for every sack that I record this year, they'll donate 2,000 cans of soup as well as $1,000 to my foundation. And 1,000 of those cans will go to a local food bank here in Green Bay, as well as the opposing city that I record a sack in. So, I mean, San Francisco should be listening right now and allow me to get after Kaepernick because it's only going to, feed the needy about so maybe 2 or 3 sacks. That's 2,000 to 3,000 cans of soup. That's 2,000 or 3,000 fans I need right there who are going to lobby for me.
Somebody's going to show up with a jersey that says, what's his name? And they're going to have Kaepernick's number 7 on it.
You're getting away from the message now.
Oh, I know. I was trying to bring it kind of full circle here. Buy Chunky Soup. I think is key and hope that Clay Matthews has a lot of sacks this year. How's that?
That's it right there. That's the essence of what we just talked about today.
Good to talk to you.
Always a pleasure.
All right. Thank you, Clay. Packers linebacker Clay Matthews. If we were in the same room, I might have been sweating a little bit there.
The Dan Patrick Show, weekday mornings on Audience.